Hello and welcome to the United Stand. We are live on a Sunday morning on a United Ramble, talking all the latest Manchester United transfer news and giving it that real fan opinion as per usual. Here he is, the star of the show, Robbie. He's legged it. He's legged it. I tell you what, he's not on as much at the moment. These contract negotiations are causing us major problems on the United Stand this summer. He wants to go to BT. I've told him that Jake Humphries, he spends all day in the mirror. You won't get any walks. You won't get any of these walks. You won't get any of the nice food as well. He spends it all on suits and aftershave. You'll be on the old cheap Aldi stuff, not the pedigree chum I give him. But this is life. This is life. Fame's gone to his head. Look at him. Won't even get involved. But you're here to talk about Manchester United. Harry Kane to Manchester United. If you watch Transfer Daily at 7 AM every morning on the United Stand, you'll know that I said, what, 3-4 days ago? The Harry Kane to United rumour is fast. It's going to come soon, very, very soon. Here it is, Sunday. It's just so predictable, so predictable. I would imagine over the next couple of weeks, Ronaldo, Neymar, Bale will rear their head up again. It really is, and I hate to say this because I've got nothing against the media really, but I do when it comes to United. United sell more papers, more website traffic than anybody. If you've got nothing to report and you say Harry Kane to United, how many United fans are going to click it? That's the thing. So these news agencies do it knowing full well they're justifying their existence by pulling traffic in. But there's nothing, this is not going to happen. There's more chance of Harry Potter signing for Manchester United than there is of Harry Kane. Harry Kane is not coming to United. And I know we talk some rumours and say, well, there might be something in it, this, that and the other. There's nothing in this. There is nothing in Harry Kane to Manchester United. What I would say is, it's not impossible that Harry Kane could sign for United. There's a lot of things that suggest that that could happen. But it's not going to happen this summer. He's just finished second in the league. Top scorer was he again. Spurs are playing way better football. He's in the Champions League. They've got a new stadium. There is no reason for him to leave Spurs at this moment in time. And he won't. And the papers know that. And everybody knows that. But it makes... you know, I don't get frustrated by it because you live life long enough around Manchester United and you see these sort of nonsensical rumours coming out. And, you know, I suppose it's our job as the United Stand and you as the fans who watch the show to sort of discuss it with each other. But it's there's nothing in this one. There is nothing in this one. And yes, Harry Kane could do a job for United. He could score a lot of goals for us. I'm sure he could. But I'm not going to go any further than that because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. What else do I want to talk about? Jordi Alba is something that we spoke about a couple of days ago. Barcelona left back. I think he's about 27, 28 now. Very fast, lots of stamina. Really, really good player. Manchester United and Mourinho apparently want him. We know we need a left back. Or well, we might not sign a left back, but it's not a surprise if we do sign a left back because he is... it is a position that is one of concern. You look at the end of the season, we were struggling. We were having to play Darmian there. Luke Shaw's injury problems and form, a question mark. But I mean, I want Luke Shaw to play there. But whether he plays there or not, I'm not opposed to signing a left back because I just think we do need a left back. So whether we'd get him from Barcelona or not, look, he's not like, what's his name? Contrao at Real Madrid, who we got linked to for a couple of years, who I like. Who's like surplus to requirements at Real Madrid. Alba plays for Barcelona. He's one of their first teamers and there's not a natural replacement I'm aware of. Although I'm sure they were linked with somebody. Didn't they sign somebody from Atletico Madrid who was a left back? You lot will know that. I'm sure somebody signed the Atletico Madrid left back. It might have been Real Madrid actually. But yeah, I would like Mendy as well. Cam Jones, I would, or Sandro, yeah, I like him as well. But I think we're in the market for a left back, and that's not necessarily a bad thing for Luke Shaw. I think some people you can't just have one left back, and you know, Ashley Young, Borthwick Jackson. I like Daley Blind as a left back, to be honest. Barca signed Lucas Digne from Roma last year, Mark, thanks for that. And it was Real Madrid, Pratic says, yeah, Theo Hernandez went to Real Madrid, yeah, that was the one I was thinking about. So, it's a bit of Robbie look. I don't know why you all like him, he's a weirdo. We're falling out these days. Creative differences, but you can be professional. You can be professional, bringing him on a walk. So yeah, Jordi Alba, I mean, I'd like him to come to United. I do believe that we need a few signings that are around their mid to late 20s to give us a bit of experience, and he'd certainly give us that. And I think the great thing about him, and the encouraging thing about him if we are linked to him, as I've said before, is the fact that he is He's not the tallest. I think he's about 5'7", 5'8", so that dispels a lot of the things that Mourinho apparently wants. But there is a lot of people who say that Mourinho likes to have an attacking fullback and a defensive fullback who is effectively a centre-back. If you think about Azpilicueta at Chelsea, Ivanovic at Chelsea, I think he did it at Inter Milan as well. But United have always been the sides that have been brought up on attacking fast fullbacks. We've got that with Valencia. It'd be nice to have that with Jordi Alba as well. So yeah, I'd be interested to see if we can pursue something for him. Who else do I like? Well, the Anthony Martial rumours are quite interesting. You know what, I tweeted it before, so sorry for repeating myself, but apparently Arsene Wenger wants to sign Kylian Mbappe, but if he doesn't get him, he's going to get Anthony Martial for 40 million. Yeah, I really do think Arsene Wenger lives in his own little world, and I don't condone the use of drugs, but it's very similar to somebody who spends the summer watching FIFA, playing FIFA, smoking a doobie, chewing on their munchies, because he's living in a dream world. He's living in a dream world. Shouldn't even be in a job. Shouldn't even be in a job. I mean, it's hilarious that he's in a job, because I've got no love for Arsenal, but he shouldn't even be in a job, and he thinks he can get Anthony Martial for £40 million. We paid more than that for him. We paid 36, and it can go up to something like 50, and this season he scored a goal that made it another 5 million. So Tallulah, Robbie, I've actually got 2 dogs with me today. What else was I going to say? Yes, so yeah, Anthony Martial cannot leave Manchester United. It would be a massive problem if he left. And I would not be very happy about it. I don't know about you lot, but I would not be happy if Anthony Martial left. I can buy into signings like Morata and Perisic that aren't star signings, but they are the sort of signings that we need, and that's fine, but I will not condone, well, condone's the wrong word, because what does it matter what I think to Jose Mourinho, but I would not be happy about Anthony Martial going. I really wouldn't, and that's all I would say about that. But we wouldn't sell him to Arsenal anyway. There's just no way that's going to happen. Again, I think it's just lazy paper talk, and you do have to cut through the nonsense. You have to cut through the nonsense. And I know some of you get frustrated by all the transfer news, but we're passionate about it. I know a lot of you are passionate about it, and actually, if we just didn't do any shows through the summer, except for when people signed, then you wouldn't get these opportunities to come on, speak to your mates that you've got on the United Stand community, listen to me, and get our real sort of opinion on these signings. It's based on experience, it's based on, we've all seen it. I mean, the Harry Kane thing, that's on a paper today that somebody will buy. It may as well wipe his arse with it, or her arse on it, because it's not happening. It is basically mugging you off. We've got a lot of American viewers here, and I don't know what it's like in other countries, but I do speak to the Americans about this, and their press would get slaughtered for that. They are not allowed to do this sort of fake news. They're not allowed to do it. They wouldn't be able to say things like, I don't know who plays for who, but you know, they're not allowed to say Washington Redskins forward signing for Dallas Cowboys for a massive fee. Unless there's any truth in it, they get absolutely slaughtered for it. In this country, you can just do it. Will there be a revolution about it? Probably not. It's been going on for years. But I think, again, that's where things like this and other outlets are good, because you get that real fan opinion on it. And to be honest with you, I could say to you now, we will. My opinion is this: Manchester United will make 2 signings by next Sunday. Do I know if that's going to happen? No. Is it based on a feeling? Yes. Is it a logical conclusion? Yes, because we're getting close to the start of the season, and I think United need to sign 2 signings, and I think we're doing a lot of work to sign players at the moment. Now, a certain news outlet could put that on the back of their paper and sell a load of papers for it, and that's pretty much what it's all about. I want to mention another name. I don't think this is going to happen, but I did want to mention him, because if you watch the Transfer Daily shows, I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago. His name's Federico Bernardacci. He's doing very well for the Italian under-21s at the moment. He plays for Fiorentina. Sir Alex Ferguson tried to sign him when he was 17. He's 22 now, 6 foot, and left-footed, but plays on the right. Quick, very hard working. He's basically Perisic, but 6 years younger, Italian. Juventus are at the front of the queue to get him. Chelsea and United are tentatively linked with him. I'm just going to mention him because I'd love us to sign him, but I think Mourinho is probably going to go with Perisic. Well, I think he will go with Perisic because Perisic is more experienced, but I like him. I do like this Bernardeschi lad, and he reminds me a lot of Lee Sharp in the way that he is tall for a winger, but he's very fast, and he's, you know, quite wiry but very strong. I really liked Lee Sharp. I think what Lee Sharp did with his career was a bit of a shame, really. I don't know whether it was you know, Sir Alex sort of missed out on him and didn't stop him partying, but saw it with Giggsy early and nipped it in the bud. But I really did like Lee Sharp, and if we can get a player like that who's exciting, it would be really good. But Perisic can be really exciting. I don't want to say that Perisic isn't a bad signing, because I think he will be, but I do like the Bernardeschi lads, and I'd love to sign him. Chelsea are interested though, and Conte gave him his debut for Italy apparently, so maybe there's nothing going to happen with that. But yeah, it's interesting. I do think that, I'm just looking at some of your comments now. Lee Madden says Sharp liked to party, and Caesar loved him. Yeah, I really liked Lee Sharp, really liked him. Sort of in my late primary school days, early secondary school days, when Lee Sharp was knocking him in, and yeah, I used to like Lee Sharp a lot. SN Siddharth doesn't want Harry Kane anywhere near a United shirt because he's a big game bottler. Well, I'll reserve my judgment. I think those who watch the United stand know what I think about Harry Kane, but there's no point in me even passing opinion on him, because why wind up Spurs fans? Because we're not signing him. He's not leaving Spurs, so I won't even give him any mention, to be honest, what my thoughts are, because it won't happen. Let me show you that. It's quite picturesque, isn't it? It's quite a nice view. It is actually spitting. It's spitting. Everybody in, everybody in. It's spitting. It's starting to get a bit heavy, actually. Perisic reminds me of Kanchelskis, says Vince Chapman. Well, Kanchelskis was a very good player as well. Will Angel Gomez get any game time? I was asked a question last night, actually. Who do you think will be the breakthrough player? Not for Manchester United, but for anybody next season. And I'll always draw it back to Manchester United, because that's the club I know the best in the Premier League. I think Andreas Pereira could be the breakthrough player next year. If anybody's followed him by any means, even if you've just watched him in the US tour and the odd game that he's played for United, or if you've actually watched some of his games for Granada last year, I'm a massive fan of Andreas Pereira, and I rate him very highly. And whether it's at Manchester United or not, I do believe that he'll be in the top 20 European players inside the next 4 or 5 years. I think he's that good that he could be a breakthrough player for Manchester United next season. But unfortunately, I think it all comes down to Jose Mourinho, and you have to look at his history with youth players, and it's not great. It isn't great. So I'm sort of thinking the same for Fosu Mensah. I don't know what a lot of you think. I think Fosu Mensah and Pereira should get themselves loans next season to teams like Bournemouth, play in the Premier League week in, week out, a bit like what Jack Wilshere did. I'm not comparing them to Jack Wilshere because they're better than him, but I want to see them playing first team football week in, week out. I think Fosu Mensah lost a year last year. At the end of the season before he was playing first team football, he was one of our best players. Hardly played at all last year. Just spent a season basically having a holiday watching the first team train. Not good enough. Pereira last season was mixing it up with Messi and Ronaldo in the La Liga. There is no point in him just training with the first team, getting an occasional bench spot in the first team. It's not good enough. He needs to either be part of the first team plans, or he needs a loan. And I'm not opposed to either of them getting loans if Mourinho isn't going to use them. And my hunch is that, as much as I like Mourinho, he hasn't got a great track record with consistently playing young players. And I don't know. I really hope that we can see Pereira break through next season. But whether Mourinho will give him the chances or not, I don't know. But in relation to transfer news, I think we've got a big, I will say 2 weeks, because that sort of gives, I don't want to give false promises to anybody, but I do believe that by July the 8th, which is when we go back to training, which is 2 weeks tomorrow, we'll have signed 3 more players, and I would expect them to be Morata, Perisic, and hopefully Fabinho, but certainly a centre defensive midfielder. And I have a funny feeling that we might sign by next Sunday. By next Sunday's show, I think we'll have signed 2 more, and that's just looking at it logically. I think that will happen. Yes, the rain is starting to come down, everybody. So I've covered everything I needed to cover this morning. Sunday Night Live, the flagship show of the United Stand, is on tonight. That little traitor won't be. He's had his run out. But yeah, Sunday tonight, 8:30, live. Live comments as per usual will be up on that. Thanks everybody. I know a lot of you enjoy the ramble, so do drop a like if you do enjoy it. Robbie needs the boost to his ego. I'll keep fighting. I've told him no. You don't just follow the money. Be more realistic. Stay loyal to the United Stand. But we'll battle on and see what we can do. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoy these rambles. It's nice just to get out a bit. Give us your thoughts on everything. And I'll speak to you all very soon. Robbie's the star as usual, says Louise O'Donoghue. Look at it. It's taking fame away from me. It's meant to be about me, not you. So yeah, give us your thoughts on Harry Kane, Jordi Alba, Anthony Martial. Who are you going to sign? Andres, I'm interested what you would do, most of all. Can people please comment, and I'll pin it as the top comment. Give us your thoughts on what you would do with Andres Pereira and Fosu Mensah next year. Are you happy for them to spend it on the bench? Do you think they'll actually get game time? Or would you loan them out so that they, especially in the case of Pereira, he builds on the fact that he was a first team player in La Liga last year. He needs first team football, I think. But give us your thoughts. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe if you're new, drop us a like, and we'll see you all at 8:30 unless we sign somebody this afternoon.